What's up, everybody? It's your host DJ Mikey Moran back with another BPTV, and today we have a guest from Malang, Indonesia.
There's one thing, never thought she could feel this way. Thought I knew myself so well, but there's one.
Her influences include Sarah Bareilles, Tori Amos, Lady Gaga, and the great Freddie Mercury.
She smiles way too much now.
She has recently recorded a single with a string quartet in Yogyakarta, and she will be releasing new music very, very soon. So we're gonna bring her over here right
Fall
now.
in love like me and you.
All right, everybody, please welcome Truedy.
Hello.
Here to talk about you as a musician. So how did you develop your career as a musician?
Well, I started up as a regular a session player, a session singer. I was always in love with singing since I was a kid. And then when I finished and when I graduated from high school, I moved to Bali and I fall in love with piano. And then I start to play simple chords to accompany myself singing, right? And then one night I got like an audition for playing in a hotel in the lobby, and then yeah, that's how I get to play music regularly, and I start practicing, and then I really start to think music professionally when I start my first YouTube channel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then from then I start to do covers, upload things, and write more music, which I don't really publish it a lot. But recently I start to build this courage to share it to people.
Well, I mean, that's how it always starts out, right? It starts out with like this random gig, and then you kind of like focus more on it, develop it more, and now you are where you are. So, we're DJs over here, so I saw something in your bio where you were part of a DJ duo. And then you kind of like broke off from it, and then you kind of like went solo. So, I mean, like, have you hit some hiccups, like roadblocks or anything? Like, because, you already established your sound and you were doing something before. And then I bet since then you were like, kind of like, okay, this is where I want to go. This is my passion. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I enjoy electronic music. I enjoy EDMs a lot. I like Zad. I think he's a really good composer. Yeah, and he also writes very brilliant music. I tried a couple of music with my DJ friend, and he was like, "Hey Trudy, come on, let's do something." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'm up to everything. I'm down for it." And then we start to do these little projects, and then we enjoy it for a while. But then I start to think like, okay, my basic is piano and singing, so I start to direct myself to go back to where I belong.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the thing with how musicians started out. They're just like trying to figure out their identity.
Exactly.
and all that, right? So
Exactly.
you like go through one path and you're like, I don't think I'm feeling this anymore, and you really go into the soul and start singing what you love. So I know that you were touring France as well, and performing in some live shows over there. So what are the differences in the music scene between Indonesia and out there, Europe, like especially in the genre that you're trying to do?
In Europe, I think most of the time in Indonesia, I think it's more approachable when you are playing guitar or you're playing an instrument that is more familiar. While me as a piano player, it's a bit difficult because first the instrument itself is not very easy to
mobile.
Yeah, it's not very mobile, and then and yeah, the challenge is quite difficult, I think. But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think this is where it's different, I guess, from Indonesia and Europe, because what is familiar in Europe is not familiar in Indonesia, I guess. But that's the challenge, right? And I try to do it because I'm based in Bali, right? And I try to offer something that is not
Not here. I mean,
yeah.
that's the part of it. You know, we were talking about identity. It's part of like, you know, forming something original
Yeah.
with influences from other places. The sound that you can bring that no one else brings. You know. No,
I
that's-
wish I could.
We're getting there. We're getting there. So I know that you were, you were composing some original music. So I mean, as a creative artist, sometimes we get into these like, roadblocks. Or I mean, like, is there something that you like started and then you didn't finish it through? Like you were like trying to figure, there's something wrong with this, blah blah blah. I mean, where do you get your inspiration from, basically?
Oh yeah, I have that a lot. Sometimes like you got like a sudden inspiration, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to wrote like a line or two, and then you don't really have any more idea to develop it.
Yeah.
But then you just like keep it there, and maybe it will come eventually, but it didn't, right? So what I've been trying to do is just to get one song done and the other, and maybe let my friends listen to it and see what they think of it, and then when it fits with my style, and if I like it, I keep going, and if I don't like it, I'll just keep it, and then maybe if I have other inspiration, I can redo it and again.
No, for sure. I mean, it's good to get a second opinion.
Yeah.
Like this is something where, with music especially, it's how you make people feel, right? You know what I mean? So yeah, no, that's the right way to
I
go.
think that it's more about telling a story, right?
Yeah.
Like you wanted to tell a story, but sometimes you don't really know how to describe it, because it takes practice to really connect to people, to get to listen to you.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to portray an emotion, like some sort of like soul in everything. That's how I feel with music. You know what I mean? And to channel that energy in a story.
Yeah,
So we say.
yeah.
It's very interesting. Okay, well, talking about original music, like when can we expect some releases? Where can we expect to see you next? I mean, you're part of Bali Praia now, and we're just trying to figure out where can people hear you play, or where can people hear your music?
Well, I haven't released my first single on YouTube, but now you can search it on Spotify and all digital platforms. You can just type Truedy and the song called One Thing. And I am working on an album. And yeah, I'll let you know when it comes up. Definitely.
All right. Well, thank you, Truedy, for stopping by. This is Truedy from Malang. Be sure to check her out on Bali Praia Jams on Bali Praia YouTube. And thanks for stopping by.
Thank
It was
you.
really, really
Thank
great
you.
having you here. And this is your host, DJ Mikey Moran. I'm signing off. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Bali Praia on Instagram. And we'll catch you next round on BPTV. Peace.